Hello, athletes. Welcome and thank you for tuning into the Coach Katie Danger podcast, recorded live from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm your host, Coach Katie Danger, U.S. Army veteran, fitness coach, and founder of Red H Nutrition. Here's a fact for you. 99% of us are not elite athletes. We're individuals from all backgrounds, juggling life's priorities, including jobs, our families, their needs, and trying to find time to take care of ourselves. Every single week when you tune in, I'll be discussing clear, concise, and actionable strategies you can use to get the most from your fitness, nutrition, and mindset so you can optimize your life without compromising your time. So athletes, settle in and get comfortable. I'm here to educate, inspire, empower, and entertain you to help you enjoy the unique fitness journey that you are on. Hey athletes, what is up? It is Coach Katie Danger, and I'm coming in live with you today on episode number 76 of the Coach Katie Danger podcast. In this episode, if you were intrigued and clicked on it, the episode title probably perked your ears up a little bit. You're probably very curious because it is called Olympic Swimmer Ryan Murphy is a Sellout. Yes, I believe that man is a sellout, and I will get into some detail as to why, and then other Olympic athletes who I believe are sellouts and basically selling out on values that actually matter for money. So we'll dive into that. But before I elaborate on those opinions and feelings that I have about some of those Olympic athletes, I want to talk about some things that have been going on over here at Coach Katie Danger, the HQ I got going on with my clients, and then some of the challenges that we have going on as well. We have the burpee challenge going on in August, and so far, everybody's loving it. I mean, maybe they're not loving the actual burpees themselves, but the camaraderie, the spirit, the competitiveness of trying to see how many burpees that you can get in 2 minutes, it's really actually quite exciting. And like all challenges, I'm taking part myself, and I put a goal for this month. So for August, here is the challenge specifically. We're doing 2 minutes of burpees every single day for the month of August. So from August 1st to August 31st, every single day, you do 2 minutes of burpees, as many as you can fit into 2 minutes, a full 120 seconds. Now, the cool part is when we get done with the end of the month, you can look back at how many burpees you did. But if you do the math, if you do 31 days times 2 minutes, that's going to be over an hour of burpees that you've done over the entire month. And most of us haven't really ever spent that much time doing burpees, as many burpees as that in such a short amount of time. So it's pretty cool. My goal personally has been 1,000 burpees. I wanted to hit 1,000 burpees. So we're on day 6 today. As I'm recording this, it's August 6th, 2021. So we're 6 days into it. I still have to get day 6 in, but I have done days 1 through 5. Day 1, I got 37, day 2, 40, day 3, 42, day 4, 43. And day 5, I did 38. So I am well on track for my 1,000. I needed to get at least 33 a day. So I'm kind of padding my stats, if I don't have as good of a day, I've got a little bit of cushion there. But 1,000 burpees for the month of August is my goal. So far, it's going great. And I think everybody else in the group is also experiencing more success than they thought. I mean, when I first proposed this challenge, most people were like, dude, burpees for 2 minutes? Katie, can I do something else? Can I do anything else for 2 minutes besides burpees? And here's the deal, guys. With any of these challenges, you can always do whatever you want to do. I mean, like, I can't force you to do anything. I mean, even if you paid me, I can't force you to do anything. You do what you want to do at the end of the day. The only reason I chose burpees is, one, usually they're not the most very many people really love burpees, like deep down in their soul, think about burpees every day and like really love them. Not many people do. There are some. We call them crazy, but there are some. But burpees for 2 minutes, like, you can move your body for 2 minutes in a functional way. You can get on the ground, you can get up off the ground. So for 2 minutes. And I think a lot of people are really, really surprising themselves. So if you aren't in on it yet and you're listening to this podcast, all you got to do is get into my coaching group. You'll get an invite to the 2 minute burpee challenge. You might even be able to search for it on Facebook in groups. It's just 2 minute burpee challenge. Or, send me an email, katie@coachkatiedanger.com. We'll get you in. Doesn't matter if you start mid-month or the last day of the month. Just get in and have some fun with us. So that's the burpee challenge. It's going really, really well. I've had a lot of good feedback for it, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the month. And then we'll see what's on tap for September for our challenge. But I am not giving any secrets away quite yet. Has anybody been watching the Olympics? I pretty much been spending all my days with the Olympic channel on, NBC Sports, NBC. Like, I've got YouTube TV, so I've got my channels set up. I've got 4 different channels, and they're playing Olympics all the time. And because they're in Tokyo, most of the good stuff is happening overnight or very, very late into the evening or even into the next day, right? So like 11 p.m. to like 2 in the morning. So I'm not catching a lot of stuff live, but I'm catching some stuff. And I have got to tell you about race walking. Okay, so race walking is basically speed walking. It's like mall walking, right? If you've ever been into a mall and you've seen a couple of middle-aged women or even middle-aged men walking very, very fast, this is basically what race walking is. And it is a trip. So Sammy and I were out, we were getting some burgers and beer. We love to do that on Thursdays. And it just so happens that race walking was going on live. In this particular event, so they've got two different ones. They got a 20 kilometer and a 50 kilometer. Now, 0.62 miles is 1 kilometer. It's hard for me to do the math in my head, but the 50 kilometer, I looked it up, it's almost 32 miles that they're doing. And the way they move their bodies to not run, it's absolutely, it's just crazy. I laughed at it. Personally, I just don't think it's a sport. In fact, when I Googled it, I was trying to figure out, like, how is this different than running? Like, why don't they just run? So when you're running, there is a point where you may not have any contact on the ground, right? Like your hind foot is up in the air and your front foot's up in the air. Well, in race walking, you always have to have at least one point of contact at all times. So all moments throughout the race, you have to have at least one foot on the ground. You can't run. You can't really like lean forward and propel yourself. They are using their arms, but the way their hips move, here's what I think of it. And I think of it as some elegant woman walking into a room and she's really swaying her hips back and forth. And, usually women, when we move our hips, it catches the attention of our male counterparts. And it's just something that looks exquisite. Women's hips are generally wider than most men. So there's just that beauty to it. But when I was watching these dudes race walk and the way they move their hips, it just looks silly. It looks unfunctional. And honestly, it kind of looks like it would hurt, especially over the course of almost 32 miles. But before I digress, I wanted to say I was laughing at it, and so was everybody at the bar. So this was playing prime time, 5 p.m. at a bar, and everybody is in the peanut gallery, right? Like, everybody's like, what is going on here? What is this sport? Like, can we turn it to something else? Can we turn it to cartoons? Like, what are we watching right now? Well, a few years ago, I don't know if it was in Rio, if it was Athens, or, whatever other Summer Olympics it was years past, but Bob Costas, when he was doing the commentary on it, he made it funny, and it went over well with most people, but not fans of race walking. He said that it's basically a room full of people who are trying to whisper the loudest. Whisper the loudest. So that's what race walking is people who are trying to whisper the loudest, right? Because it's so silly. Like, why would you do it? I don't know why these people don't just run. Because I watched them, and there is significant impact on the hips. They have to still move their bodies. So I'm wondering, like, why would you choose race walking versus just running? I mean, I know some people who run really, really slow, or if you get to the end of a marathon, and I ran a half marathon before, and I was running real slow by the end, but I was still running. Like, I was still trying to, break at the ankles, move forward at the hips, swing my arms to gain some sort of momentum. If you haven't seen this, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google race walking. It blows my mind that this is an Olympic sport. However, I will tell you, apparently the 50-kilometer race, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics was the last time we'll see it. So we're only going to see 20 kilometers going forward. I don't know why they decided to get 50 kilometers. I don't know why they have it to begin with. Once again, my opinion. But if you got some thoughts on race walking, I would love, love, love to hear what they are. Or if you've ever participated in this sport or know more about it, send me an email, katie@coachkatiedanger.com. I just want to have a conversation with somebody about this race walking because it's just so ridiculous. I just thought it was so ridiculous. And it is probably the most derided sport in terms of not being a real thing. Okay. But that's what I noticed. I actually saw the race walking sport. I don't want to talk about race walking this whole time, but my God, it's just so interesting. I woke up, I don't remember if it was Beijing in 08, might have been. I'm trying to go back. It also could have been Athens in 04. This when I was in college, I was at home and I was sleeping on my parents' couch, and I must have fell asleep in the middle of the night on the couch watching the Olympics. And I woke up to race walking going on. And I thought I was dreaming. Like, I thought I was in a dream. I like, what is going on the TV, whatever. And then I fell back asleep. I woke up the next morning and I was like, what the hell did I see last night? What were they doing? Were they speed walking? Like, I know they weren't running. I called it speed walking, apparently called race walking. But it's actually a real sport. It is real. I'm going to leave it at that because I could probably have a whole podcast on how silly race walking looks. But the incidence of injury is not any more or any less than a typical runner, at least according to what information I was able to Google, because I thought, maybe they're having more injuries in their hips, their knees. I don't know. It just doesn't look functional and efficient. I'll leave it at that. But some of the other sports, oh God, I love watching the Olympics. I really do. And I'm going to make a segue here in a little bit, but other sports I've really thoroughly enjoyed watching. Volleyball, always great to watch. Sand volleyball, great. And let's talk about men's volleyball. I would be deathly afraid to be on the other end of a spike from a man in volleyball, whether it's beach volleyball or, regular 5-person volleyball. They spike those volleyballs so hard, I feel like it would crush me into the next century. Like I wouldn't even be able to stand up. I would just like cower and duck and put my hands over my face and be like, Mommy, please help me. Because the way the men attack the volleyball, it's brutal. It is absolutely brutal and devastating. And I know the chicks, I know that they've got some power behind them too. And I wouldn't be able to hang with them either. But I don't think I would die. If I got hit by one of the volleyballs that a man spiked, I would probably die because it looks like it would hurt like hell. So, wow. Okay, I learned that. And then I also was watching the gold medal match of rugby. I can't remember who Fiji was playing, but Fiji is apparently a world powerhouse in rugby. I did not know that. I thought American football was brutal with the pads and the helmets. But my God, have you ever watched a rugby match on the Olympic level? Those men are built like brick shithouses. Like their traps go up to, like, if you happen to be watching this live while I'm doing this, like I've got my traps, right? I swear to God, their traps are like as tall as my head. Like their traps just go into the ceiling. It's just incredible. These men are they're huge and it's brutal. And they hit each other at full speed without pads on. And they just get up and they dust themselves off. They're like, okay, whatever, time for the scrum or whatever they call it when they get in the group and they fight over the rugby football. So rugby, wow. Like I watched that and I was just so impressed because it just looks brutal. And 100-meter hurdles, holy crap, watching that woman from Puerto Rico, that was incredible. Like the way their bodies move. It's just so fascinating watching athletes during the Olympics because as an athlete myself, I like to believe that I can move fairly efficiently. I'm fairly functional. I know I'm not on Olympic level in any sport, but nonetheless, seeing people do it in such a way that makes it look effortless, I mean, it shows you that the ceiling is so high. It shows you what the human body is capable of. At the same time, it makes you look at yourself and go, wow, I thought my 9-minute mile was okay, So the Olympics are great. I absolutely love watching them. It's great when they're on. The 2 weeks goes by so fast. So it's unfortunate that we're coming to an end here, but we do have some good stuff. We got the women's gold medal basketball match coming up. We got the men's gold medal basketball match coming up. So go Team USA. Let's see if we can pad our stats a little bit more and get some gold medals and really end the Olympics on a high note. So now that we're talking about the Olympics, this is going to be a great segue into what the title of this podcast is all about. And it's Ryan Murphy, the Olympic swimmer, is a sellout. But he's not the only one. He's got some company with him. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about Lori Hernandez. She is an American gymnast. Emma McCune, she is an Australian swimmer. She did very, very well this year in Tokyo. I believe she got 7 total medals, but I know she was rivaling Phelps in terms of all-time list for single game medaling. So very accomplished swimmer. Now I want to preface and say, I am not questioning any of these athletes' athletic abilities, not for a second. I am not in any position to compare myself. I am not an Olympic swimmer. I'm not an Olympic gymnast. So their athletic achievements are nothing that I am going to touch here. What I'm getting at is with this sellout business is the values and the pedestal that we place athletes on. And we don't ask better questions and we don't hold them to higher standards when it comes to who's footing the bill. Like, what are they saying and why are they saying it? Let me be more specific. Hey, I know, and you know, that I talk a lot about using supplements on your fitness journey and reaching your full potential. How I believe they're integral pieces of the puzzle to reaching your best self and best fitness results. But do you know how supplements fit into your plan? Do you know what to take for your goals and how much of a supplement you should take? If you've ever had any of those questions and you want to know how supplements can work for you and your goals, go to yourfitnesssupplements.com and take the free 3-point personalized supplement assessment. And with just a few questions, you'll have a complete personalized supplement recommendation in less than 60 seconds. You'll know more about how supplements fit into your fitness goals, what's safe, and what's effective and perfect for you. So type in yourfitnesssupplements.com in your internet browser, take the free assessment, and get on the fast track to your best fitness results. And it was the Ryan Murphy commercial that really just grind my gears so hard. So there is a migraine medication. I believe it's called Emgality. I'm Googling it as we speak here. Yeah, Emgality. So Emgality is a medication for people who suffer from extreme migraines, like debilitating migraines. I've never taken this medication. I do not have migraines. That is not the point of this. This is getting at the point of Ryan Murphy is a spokesperson for this. He's in a commercial. He's doing his swimming. He's like, I'm Ryan Murphy. I'm an Olympic swimmer. I do backstroke real awesome, won a bunch of medals. And instantly like, oh, okay, I didn't know Ryan Murphy suffered from migraines, but here, I'll listen to it. I mean, you don't really have a choice. You're watching the Olympics, these commercials are on. And it does bother me that people, big pharma in general, pisses me off. I do not remember the episode that I talked about it, but the podcast title is Big Pharma is a Big Problem. And it's a big problem because they have their money in everything. Their money is in the FDA. Their money is in the government. I mean, right now, if you're disappointed in the United States government, no matter what side of the room you're on, red, blue, purple, somewhere in between, whatever, independent, if you are upset with American politics, if you start diving into big pharma and what they're doing to our world and how their money is playing a part in your healthcare and your ability to access healthcare, then this should fire you the hell up, because it fires me up if you can't tell. So go back, listen to my podcast, Big Pharma is a Big Problem. Then you will realize why I am so upset about some of these Olympic athletes and who they're standing behind and who they're taking money from. Ryan Murphy in particular. Okay, so Ryan Murphy, he's got migraines. I thought that because he's in this commercial and he states that he has migraines, that this is a medication he takes. I mean, that would make sense, right? Okay, he's got migraines, it's a migraine medication. Okay, maybe I can give him a pass because the medication has helped him. Oh no, you guys, oh no. All he's doing is he's swimming and he's doing all of his cool fancy tricks and his moves in the pool. And then it comes up at the bottom. You know, they always talk about all these disclaimers like Emgality helps with migraines, but it can also cause severe liver damage. And don't take if you're under the age of 18, and don't take it if it's a full moon. And you know, all that silly stuff that there's always those disclaimers. But like on the screen, there's happy people and they're eating cotton candy and they're living their lives. And Big Pharma is just a damn joke. But Ryan Murphy, I cannot believe that you would put your face and your body and your talents in this video. And then right at the bottom, like midway through the commercial, it says Ryan Murphy does not take this product. Ryan Murphy does not use Emgality. So why are you in that commercial? If you have migraines and you're in a commercial for migraine medication, why don't you take the medication? Is it because you don't believe in it? Is it because it doesn't work? Ryan Murphy, I want to know. If I sit next to you on a plane, on a train, in an automobile, or wherever else I may see you, I'm going to ask you someday why you were in that commercial and why you don't take that medication. Was it for the money? Because I bet it was for the money. And I understand the other two athletes. I understand that the whole reason for this is because of money. It's because of money. And I understand that. I am very clear. I love the band Everclear. And there is a quote in one of the songs where it's there, if you're poor, and you're talking about how money doesn't buy happiness, you've never had the joy of a welfare Christmas. And I know that there are extremes, and that might be going to the extreme. Like, I don't want anybody to be poor. I don't want anybody to be begging for food. But I also think taking money from Big Pharma is selling out. It's selling out on your values, especially if you don't take the product itself. So that just shows me that you're a spokesperson who's got no backbone and no spine. And all you did is you just wanted a dollar bill handout. So Ryan Murphy, if you ever listen to this, or if anybody knows him and can ask him and get in touch with me, tell me why you were in that video. Was it because you believe in Emgality? Because if you do, why don't you take it? Why were they very, very clear in the fine print that Ryan Murphy does not take Emgality? It's a question I would love to have answered. So at least for the time being, I think you're a sellout. And I went to your Instagram page and I also called you a sellout on your Instagram page. I know I'll never hear from you and I'm probably already blocked from your account, but I would just love to know why you do those things. And then let's talk about Lori Hernandez. So Lori Hernandez is in a commercial for a type 2 diabetic medication, Trulicity. And it's actually talking about her father. So she really loves her dad, duh. And her dad, I think, has type 2 diabetes. Like, I don't even know. Her dad doesn't talk through any of it. They just show very, very warm moments between the two that shows, obviously, I'm so glad my dad's here. I don't want him to die. I want him to take care of his diabetes. It never actually says if her father truly does have diabetes, but it does say at the bottom that her dad does not take Trulicity. So once again, why are you in these commercials? Do you have type 2 diabetes? Are you trying to manage it? Why would you be in these commercials if you don't even use the product? I don't understand. I don't understand. Then probably the least significant culprit here, but I still got to say something because it's just gross, is Emma McCune from Australia. I mentioned before, athletic achievements, you can't take them away from anybody. She is a fantastic world-class Olympic gold medalist swimmer. However, one of her large sponsors is Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola is like the genesis for all the health and wellness issues we have in America right now. All of their money in Coca-Cola is put behind health initiatives that hide the fact that sugar and soda and all that shit is actually killing Americans. Most of the diseases that Americans face today are diseases of the lifestyle, choices that we make. It's not because we have genetic conditions. Most, I say most Look at the reasons that most people are dying every single year. You can find that information on any government website. It will tell you that the list of conditions are not genetic. They are lifestyle choice disorders, diabetes type 2, heart disease. All of those things are due to our choices, the food we eat, the exercise we do or we don't do. So I have a problem with somebody taking money from Coca-Cola and then going on their Instagram page and posting with a bunch of Coca-Cola products, specifically the sugary soda stuff. There is no way that that girl drinks that stuff. There is no way that she uses Powerade for her replenishment after a swim. In fact, I watched her swim almost all of her races. I never saw Powerade once. So I'm just saying, you got to be careful who you listen to. You got to be careful who our idols are. It frustrates me because in America, I'm going to speak from America, we're in this existential crisis. I mean, there are almost two sides to everything, sometimes three. You know, it's one side against the other in almost every way, shape, and form you look at something. And usually it's politically motivated, but sometimes it's just opinions, right? Like something's either right or it's wrong, black or white, and nobody wants to find any gray area in between. And I think the reason a lot of us are struggling nowadays, and the reason that there is so much disconnect and divide in America specifically, is because we have lost our values. We have lost what we stand for. I am an incredibly principled, value-driven person. When I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. And I've been very, very careful as who I associate myself with, the company I keep, the things that I say, the actions that I do, because actions speak louder than words. Actions show who you are. If somebody says one thing, they say, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. But then on the other side, they're doing things that are not becoming of what a good person is. For example, you can't say that you detest big pharma and then go and get in a big pharma commercial and take their money. Those are disconnects. It doesn't work. This is a value-based argument. In America and in the world, you need to demand more and expect more of the people that we're putting in positions of power. You need to demand more of the athletes that are influencing our younger generations, that are supposed to motivate and inspire us. Their actions on the court, in the pool, on the track, they say one thing, okay? It says they're a great athlete. But that aspect of their lives, them being a great athlete, it doesn't mean that they're an upstanding person. It doesn't mean that when they get home and they go back to their daily lives, that they're doing the things that would be associated with a respectful and respected human being. These things have to match. And when they don't match, you're a sellout. That's just the plain and simple form as I see it. If you say one thing and you do another thing, or if you do one thing and say another thing, you are a sellout. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Hold others to a higher standard. And I'm telling you, over the course of some time, if we hold ourselves to a high standard and then hold others to a high standard and then pick and choose the people that we associate ourselves with, this world will be a better place. Values have gone out the window and people are saying things just for money. Money is driving the factors here and it is wrong. Okay. Money talks, money speaks. And I know money makes the world go around and money makes life a lot easier in some regards. But I personally will never take a dime from Big Pharma. I will never sell my business to any Big Pharma associated business because I would rather be where I am at now and just be comfortable than have a ton of money in a mansion that was funded by shit that I don't even believe in. Okay. That is my story on the sellouts in the Olympics. That's my story and my feelings and my thoughts and my opinions on values in America today and why I think we're really in a crisis that we're in. That's what I believe. We have to be really careful of who we idolize and who we worship and who we follow, because why are they saying what they're saying? Is it being driven by money? Is it motivated by the dollar bills? Because if it is, you got to dig deeper. You got to dig deeper. I got to ask better questions. Ask better questions, get better answers, and demand it. I know that I got a little fired up about this, but it really matters to me because this is why I started my own brand. This is why I started Red H Nutrition. Red H Nutrition is my supplement brand. If you happen to just be joining me for the first episode, even though we're in episode 76, I started a supplemental nutrition brand. I saw that there were a lot of misconceptions about supplements, and it was because it's been driven. A lot of the dialogue is still out there that there's a lot of snake oil and that stuff doesn't work and they're not studied and, you know, they're not validated or regulated by the FDA. And I made it my mission to share the good news about supplementations, to bring out a brand that is rooted in my values, the things that I believe in, of doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and putting out a product that actually works, okay? And here's what I mean. That label on that bottle of the Red H Nutrition bottle, that is me. That is essentially my name. It may as well just be called Coach Katie Danger's brand. I called it Red H Nutrition. I want to show that to anybody and go up to them and feel proud. I never want to like show somebody this product and feel gross about it and feel like I'm trying to spin something just a certain way to make them believe me. I love my brand. I put every heart and soul and bit of passion I have into my brand to make sure that these products work, to make sure that they're safe, to make sure that they're verified. If you got any questions, you can always come to me and talk to me. I am okay with quality over quantity. You will never find us on Amazon. You will never find us in a big box store like Walmart or Target. It will not happen. I will not sell out this brand for anything. And if it grows, it will grow because my grassroots values have fueled other people and they love it and they believe in it and they feel awesome taking it because they know that it's coming from my heart and soul. And hopefully I've shown you that I am a true value-based individual who will live what I say, I will breathe what I say, and I will do what I say. And I will not ever be a two-faced human being. So that's why I love my brand and that's why I do what I do. And I hope that this podcast episode inspired you a little bit to dig deeper into the questions you ask and the idols and athletes that you follow, and make sure that they are true to what their word is and that they're not just saying what they're saying because somebody else is on the other side footing the bill. Be very, very careful and be discerning about the people that you give your time to. Your time is very valuable. Nobody should get it unless they earn it. So here's what I'm gonna leave you with, athletes. If you haven't already, check out my brand, Red H Nutrition. Go to redhnutrition.com. We're actually coming out with a few more products in a few days. I'm not going to spoil it. Okay, yeah, I'll spoil it. So we got a fish oil coming out here in probably 2 to 3 months. The immunity vitamin is out now. It's shipped today. I'm so excited. We'll have it in the warehouse next week. This is my love. This is my joy. And if you haven't tried Red H Nutrition yet, use my code, Coach Katie Danger, all one word. Use it in the discount code box and you'll save 30% on your first order. If you've already used that code before, I still got you. You can always use the code podcast20, podcast20, and you get 20% off your order all the time, every single order. That is my gift to you, a brand that matches the values of the person behind the scenes. I live what I say what I live, and I've got it tattooed on my arm. Actions speak louder than words, and I mean it every single day. And that's why I've been with you for 76 episodes now, because I believe in sharing the truth. And I know the truth is always from a perspective, from my life perspective, but I do spend a lot of time asking myself questions as well. I do. I try to be my own devil's advocate. I try to ask Sammy and my friends, am I seeing things the wrong way? How could I see this differently? How could my perspective change? I believe in what I say. And if new information comes in that would expand my perspective, I will listen. And I want you to do the same. It will make your life a lot easier. You'll start seeing things line up in your life a lot better too. So athletes, with that, I'll leave it. Go to redhnutrition.com. Check out the entire line of supplemental products because they're designed to help everyday athletes like you get more, do more, and be more from all of your athletic and fitness goals. You guys, I'm going to leave you with enjoy the journey, trust the process, and believe in yourself. And don't ever, ever, ever quit. The only way you will never get to where you want to go, the only way you will not reach your fitness goals is if you quit. So enjoy the journey, trust the process, believe in yourself, don't ever quit. You guys, this is Coach Katie D. I love you. Thank you for joining me for episode number 76, and we will chat again next week. But for now, over and out.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.